Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today, we will be doing the Sunday Showcase for February.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Tonight's the Sunday Show-Off Show where we show all of our completed work for our craft projects and extra credit projects over the course of the last month, starting with the 99-cent store tank.
It was actually from the Dollar Tree, but don't worry about it.
Yeah. Had a lot of fun with this, learned a lot. I think when we do the Wolverine tanks from Archon Studios and the Tredarin tanks from the Warlord Kickstarter, when it finally gets here, it will have helped us learn a lot of things about assembling and painting tanks.
Still kind of answered it, but
This is the first camouflage job I've ever done, and
No.
I got some help online from YouTube.
I was going to say we probably won't do a camouflage pattern on all of them, like the Tredarin ones. We probably won't do a camouflage on that.
Yeah, we'll have close to 7-8 different tanks to work on and come up with color schemes. But all in all, I really this was a lot harder than I expected, but it was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. The last part of painting it really was very, very enjoyable. We had a lot of fun with this one. I just put it there for you. I hope it's not recognizable as the original tank that it was.
I think if you saw them side by side, you'd recognize them. Should
Yeah.
I test it?
No. Let's move on to the next one,
Yeah.
which was the Final Faction mechs. The little guy really outdid himself on these. Managed to keep the chrome intact. The
I'd like to keep it that way.
The green and red cocktail swords really turned out really sharp, I think. All in all, he did.
This one's kind of bent, but it's fine.
Yeah. All in all, I really liked the way they turned out. I think he did a great job on these. I really had very little to do with them. It's been a long month, folks.
Today was pretty good.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun on our bike and hike. Want to show them off a little? Turn them.
Oh. Yeah, this one, you already saw it. The only difference is the sword.
We added the swords.
Yeah.
We planned on adding them the whole time, but we really didn't want to do it until the last moment because they're really fragile. No, fragile. I didn't want anything to happen.
This
with
one,
the glue.
but this one.
The two inside the weapons, those were easier, but they was still, if I didn't just position them just right, it would have been a little more difficult to keep them straight and even. But all in all, they're one of my favorite crafts of the month, even though I had very little to do with them. Next are the...
Is your actual favorite craft of the month? Never mind.
Here.
This one is.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite. I had so much fun with that. It
was mostly him.
It's just so alien. You couldn't ask for a more alien looking creature.
It's kind of stereotypically alien.
You
Not
look
as
at-
stereotypical alien as
gray.
yeah, but it is stereotypical alien colors.
The green and purple, yeah. The green, green. The orange eyeballs, and I just wanted to make it just really pop and just really.
I think the spikes in the back should have used the contrast paint, just to keep them the same color.
Yeah. It's not that much different, but.
Anyways, onto the other ones.
These guys,
ones being less modified. This one, you think that it's more, like it seems nothing like it. I kind of think it actually is. The spikes on the back don't add much from looking at it at the front. The tentacles are just another type of arm.
Yes.
The legs are the same, the body's the same, because it really is just body, legs, and arms, and the arms can be replaced. So it could take it. Just the arms are replaced by a different type of arms, and it has a tentacle beard and a different paint job. These ones look pretty much identical, other than their heads being turned around.
I'm glad we discovered that.
Gear to them.
Yes.
We discovered it the very first day unboxed.
These were a lot of fun as well. the bits that we
I
added.
discovered it almost immediately.
But I really like the way they turned out. They definitely look vastly different from their original. Like purple, like a really dark
Yeah,
purple.
they were purple with a metallic to them.
Yeah, and we're actually going to be using these two figures in another craft next month, doing something something completely different with them.
Almost opposite. I do for like 3 minutes later.
But we hope you Final Faction fans are digging these guys as much as we did, and we're looking forward to the new stuff that's coming out pretty soon, I hear. But we'll check in with Sage Forsaken and some of our other friends on YouTube when it comes to the Final Faction releases and what else we can expect from this line of absolutely stellar action figure. For we're going to be using these for miniature war games and role playing games. And they're going to be gigantic adversaries for our games. We think it's going to be a really nice fit. So let's move on to the next one, which was
the gun.
Let's move these off to the side. We did these just recently. These were our last craft of the month, and we had some trepidation when designing them and trying to put them together. Our last craft of the month is usually something that we've been mulling over for quite some time, and weren't quite 100% certain what we were going to do. But I really think in the end these turned out really nice. I really like the little guy's take on this one with the front end. This is just absolutely stellar looking, and it's using actual Final Faction parts that we modified.
We just cut them apart.
Yeah, well. And of course there's some Legos thrown in there and the tea lights. But all in all, I really think these turned out, they were a lot easier than we thought. We always kind of overthink our last project and, worry too much that it's not good enough. But I think these really turned out pretty spiffy with the light up effect. I think they will definitely be a welcome addition to any tabletop game that you might want to use these for. Even if you don't turn out the lights while you're playing, even if you just build them as is or something similar, I think you'll get a lot of replay use out of them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get those lights back on and move on to the Dragon of the Month. Again, the little guy.
Before we do that, you might accidentally pull this thing completely off by turning the light on.
So you're really gonna want to use an extra bit of super glue. Use the accelerant to make sure it stays right where you want it. And here we have the Dragon of the Month, the Whiz Kids Clockwork Dragon that we modified to get rid of the stitching in the wings. We really hated that aspect of it. This looks more like I really don't mech
understand.
dragon as opposed to a clockwork dragon. There's no gears showing.
Well, the only thing that's kind of like that is the legs, but there's no gears, which is clock.
Yeah, it's really more of a mech dragon. And I think
the legs are very they don't look that high tech, but the rest of it does.
Yeah, I think it would be more at home in a lot of other games besides Dungeons and Dragons, maybe a Traveler game or some other sci-fi game more than an actual Dungeons and Dragons game. But I think he did a really good job on painting it. It's definitely risen higher in my favorites.
Just like the Iron Golems.
It's definitely one of my favorite of the Whiz Kid dragons.
Yeah, speaking of Iron Golems, I'm not going to bring them. But, I just don't understand why Iron Golems are... Wow. Why Iron Golems are always so high-tech looking.
Yeah, we're actually going to try to remedy that for our own
I do want
purposes.
to... Yeah, we've said that. But I do want to make some Iron Golem that looks like a medieval...
or fantasy at least.
Until 1 minute later in the video. Anyways, is that it about that one?
Yeah, I think you did a great job, buddy. Let's move on to
The brain.
the brain.
Yeah, you got it. You made it.
We showed this off in the first
Starship video.
Yeah, and I haven't finished gluing it down here because I want to use a different glue, probably the little guy's favorite glue. which will remain nameless, right, Dave? But, you know, I think the brain turned out pretty good. We may even do a video on how to make this, because there's a couple of little tricks that I learned while putting him together to make the actual brain look like a brain.
There's a few issues with the brain itself, but I think it
And
looks
finding
like
this
good.
particular piece, I don't know what in the world it originally was, and I'm glad I saved it for this piece. But we'll go over that in another video probably. This was fun. It was a lot of fun. It actually was quicker than any of the other crafts we did this month, wasn't it?
It was a very quick craft.
Let's turn that off and move on to little guy's alien.
Yeah, I think I could have done better, mainly with the size, but
He wanted it to be smaller, but
I want it to be maybe as tall as this, including the not.
But it was made
including-
with, you know, dried baby wipes, some cardboard, and some green stuff. He's now a real big fan of the green stuff.
Yes, I like it a lot.
Where I'm more in favor of the milliput. I realize the green stuff has completely different uses in some cases, but
As I said, milliput is actually better for ceiling craft than green stuff is.
yeah, I think so.
Mostly due to cost and texture.
Yeah, but
Mostly
I think he did a nice job on this. It was also a rather quick craft for him, and you know, I like the way it turned out. It's pretty alien looking.
By the way, we're doing fantasy next month.
Oh yes, we're going to be doing an entire month of
If you
fantasy.
didn't already get that by my not so subtle foreshadowing.
And his final craft is this gigantic clockwork monstrosity, made entirely out of bits and pieces from our bits box. I think he did a really good job. He's not real happy with the paint job on the base, but I kind of like it, giving it a more, you know, roughed up look. The granny grading turned out really, really nice. The super glue lids, we finally found a really excellent use for them. And I'm really, really happy with the way he did this. Again, all on his own, right in the middle of our busiest month, he decided to whip this
It's
out.
not our busiest month. It's just our most productive month.
Yeah, I think October was our
Yeah,
most hectic month.
It'll always be that.
Yeah, let's keep it that way, shall we?
Yeah.
If we can keep ourselves on schedule and not throw ourselves for a loop with a core set challenge, which was
I mean, our next
It was a
course set
gr-
video, our course is already done.
it was a great way to push ourselves, but we should have timed it.
A bit better, but a week. We probably should have done more the first few days, but
Yeah, we learned a lot. We know that you can, in fact, do an entire course set in a week if you've got someone like this guy who did a huge portion of the work, I'll admit.
I mean, spraying it, that's...
Yeah, I did the spraying and the sanding and some of the stuff, but he really...
But I did the details, but I was mostly working on the...
AI Center?
Yeah, the AI Center screens, because I kind of felt like it was cheating a bit.
Yeah.
2 people.
Yeah, but, you know,
Twice as fast.
if you can't get your kid to help you out with a project like that, then, you know, you got to go back to dad school.
What?
So,
That's an incredibly funny joke.
yeah, thank you. It's a dad joke, you know. So
Yes,
let's spread these out and make a little scene for the parting shot.
Yeah.
You want to keep
By
any?
the way, do you like birds? I have a bird.
He's gonna put a bird on it. That's great. Get these
One of
from
the birds. I think we put the birds on one of the scarecrows, and by scarecrows I mean living trees.
the evil trees.
They're the
There's a
good
little
tree. We
bird
put a
mound
bird
up there.
on.
He's just hanging out,
Yeah, it's
doing
a
what
bird.
birds do.
It's a bird now.
Let's set these up and give the folks a nice little battle scene before we call it a night. The alien's on my side now. I always get the bad guys, right?
Okay.
You want him in this?
I mean, you know what? I'll put the bird here, even though like it doesn't really make sense considering what this technically is. But yeah, make it even. There's a bird.
He's the real commander of the army, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's,
You balance him.
you set up the battle scene there. Here we go. By the way, that's Charlie, in case you guys were wondering.
Why did you name it? Why did you name it Charlie?
Because you
I didn't tell you to.
you dared me to call him Charlie in the video.
Wait, did I? Was
Yes.
it in the video?
You dared me last night or the night before.
Call it Charlie.
His name's Charlie. Yeah, I don't know why, but that's the first name that came to mind. You want these two facing off in the center?
Sure.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's been something of a tradition for us to have a nice little battle scene or some sort of scene from the culmination of a month's worth of heavy-duty crafting. So there you have it. You want to hit the lights on these guys before we go? Okay, that's a little dark.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize, but yeah. You know, looking at it from here, it looks so much brighter on camera. You turn on the brain.
Yeah, I did.
So we turn it back on.
Yeah. There you have it, folks. Hope you like what you see. Hope you guys maybe follow some of these crafts, maybe do some of your own. Send us some pictures. The email will be in the description.
Or will it?
Yeah, it will. And we hope you guys have a great week. Like and share this if you can. I'd like to see your comments in the comment section if you have any suggestions, advice, or
By the way,
things you'd like to see in the future, because our next month is right around the corner.
I already said it's fantasy.
Yes, we'll be doing
And then we
that.
might do Western terrain the month after, but like that's not.
We're still
thinking
one
about
month at a time.
Yeah.
So have a great week, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you soon. Good night.
Good night.